So here you can see that now we're in QuickBase, and I have my backlog actually tracked in this application. So this is all data now for me to use in my QuickBase database. As we know, a lot of the larger applications can take a lot more resources to support. So when you're looking at a backlog like this, it's important to start introducing that concept of prioritization. As you're going through this list, you'll find there's really not much that's helping me to understand the different priorities for each of these requests. I can see that some of them are under review and some of them aren't. But in order to start putting a little bit more analysis behind this, maybe a little bit more color as to what we're seeing, you'll find that I actually have a dashboard that I can look at. And this is going to help really consolidate a lot of the information and make it much more digestible. And so in this scenario, this is a management dashboard where your management team is actually going to be able to go in and see all the different information that they care about in a very quick and easy way. You'll see here they have estimated dollars and hours, different breakdowns of requests by approval, as well as the actual list that we saw a moment ago, only now with a little bit more color added, where we can see which of the requests are coming in at a high priority, which have been evaluated, and get a little bit more detail as to exactly where the organization stands. So as a member of IT, if I'm not part of the leadership team and I'm not as worried about the overall status of the organization, I might want a slightly different view. And this is one of the real strengths of QuickBase, being able to provide a really tailored user experience based on the nature of what you're trying to do. And so here, I can jump in to a role that's meant for the actual IT team members. And this role really going to be much more focused on being actionable. How do we take that list of outstanding requests and make it really clear cut as to what exactly needs to happen? And so you'll notice on this new dashboard, everything's been sorted by the backlog priority, no longer by the business priority. And so we've got critical, high, medium, low, and this concept of unprioritized down at the bottom, which tells me that I need to go hit this review button over here on the right in order to start taking a look and maybe evaluating and giving this a position on our actual IT backlog. So allowing me to kind of do a little bit of analysis as a member of IT in order to figure out exactly what should be focused on moving forward. So I can take one of these items, click on it, and look at it in a little bit more detail right now. So taking a look at one of the requests here, we can see that the first one on the list, the most critical item, is actually coming over from the sales team. And it seems that both the sales manager and the executive sponsor for this request feel that the sales team really needs a new system to begin tracking all the individual activities that people are managing throughout their day, as well as getting some more reporting to help them analyze exactly where people on their team are spending their time and what they might be able to do better. So situation like this, we've got a lot of detail in our backlog request. We see that it's been reviewed and approved, and we can even see that it's now turned into a project, and that project may have its own set of requirements and tasks to complete, which can all be managed right here in this QuickBase application. Now, if I'm going to start looking at one of these types of requests, I might want to get really clear on all of the details and all of the requirements involved. And so what you'll notice as well is that I have an attached spreadsheet to help give me a little bit more context as to exactly what needs to be done here. So we can see that the KPIs for this request are really focused on the number of conversations per lead, as well as the amount of time spent following up on those conversations. So now that we know what IT really needs to focus on when building this application, we can actually start to go through the steps to take this from a request into a real application. In order to do that, I'm going to jump out of my IT project backlog app and just move out to the main QuickBase homepage. And this page is really going to allow me to look at all of the different apps that I have in my ecosystem, as well as start creating new applications. And so I'm going to take this sales request and use it as an opportunity to create a new application for us here so that we can start to see exactly how that all comes together. You'll see that one of the options when you're creating a new application is to start from the data on a spreadsheet. And if you remember, a moment ago when we were looking at that request, we saw that sales had actually uploaded some sample data to provide a little bit of context. So what I can do here is click on the import option, select the correct option here for the file, and upload that. And what QuickBase is going to do as soon as it gets this data is it's going to analyze that, it's going to break that down for us. And what's really great is that it's also going to make sure that it's getting the right formatting in place as well. So if something looks like an email address, QuickBase is going to make sure that it knows, hey, that's supposed to be an email address. If it's a date or a timestamp, same thing. QuickBase is going to understand exactly what it's trying to use here. And you, as an administrator, have the ability to make adjustments if you feel that QuickBase might have got something wrong here. So giving you a lot of flexibility, a lot of control, but at the same time, automating this process so that it really doesn't take much effort. Once you've got that spreadsheet in the system, you're going to be able to hit create, name the application, and from there, we're ready to start talking about customizing and cleaning that up and really giving our users a nice tailored experience. All right, so now we have our application named and ready to go. And when we create it, you'll see that it's actually going to take the data that we uploaded from that spreadsheet, and it's going to even take that one step further and try to analyze that with some visual graphics. So we're going to have different pie charts here. You'll see it's taking the assigned to reps as well as the priority, and it's breaking those down for you. So really trying to do some pre-digestion for anyone, making sure that you really don't have to spend any time at all in order to start seeing real value out of this.